Wow, what a beautiful day here in New York. But look at that. Storm clouds. I literally just got weather alert that was like severe thunderstorms, heat advisory, excessive heat, floods, potential tornado, hail, 60-mile per hour winds. But I like watching storms, so we'll let that roll in as if I have any control over it. The only reason you can see me right now is because of my computer screen. I don't think you can hear it, but just know like it is incredibly dark in my room right now because the clouds really just rolled right in. The storm is literally above because this room was just getting darker and darker and darker. But I have been working all day and I still have a couple more hours of work to do, but I did start and finish Happiness last night. I'll share my thoughts with you in the next clip just because I am in the middle of something, but I wanted to update you on how quickly that storm is rolling in. I feel like this is going to be such a short vlog because I didn't realize today was the last day of Summerween. I genuinely thought that the 21st was Friday. It's not. It's today, which means I'm in the middle of 3 books and I'm probably not going to finish them all. As you can tell, I obviously just got out the shower because it's hair wash day, so I'm just take this towel off. So what I wanted to tell you all is about the book that I read last night. So I read a manga called Happiness. I'm forgetting the author's name, but it will be on the video somewhere as always. What I can tell you about Happiness is that I really enjoyed parts of it, but I didn't enjoy a lot of parts of it. In one of the opening scenes, we're following our main character, a boy who's obviously in high school or somewhere around that age. He's with his friend and he sees his girl walking up the stairs and looks straight up her skirt, like he can see her panties. And then we go to his house and there's a picture of him masturbating to that. This is a child, a literal child, a minor. Why? Why am I watching that? But I said, oh, no, not for me. So he goes out. What's the story even about? This story is about this boy who is turned into a vampire. And that's literally all we know in the first chapter. He's attacked by this vampire woman and gets turned. And we're following the story of him trying to understand what's happening to him. Now, I enjoyed certain aspects of it, like I mentioned, like the bullying he was going through and how he was able to kind of stand up for himself and get his revenge of sorts. I liked him turning into a vampire. I liked his confusion about him turning into a vampire. What I did not like is how sexist and just gross it was. For example, he would be really attracted to the blood, but only from like the period blood from the girls around him. So there were lots of pictures of like girls with very short skirts and him looking at their panties and staring at their legs. There's a scene which really disturbed me, and I don't even want to say it, but I'm gonna have to say it so you know like why it disturbed me. He is losing control of his thirst because obviously he has no idea what happens. He just thinks that he was attacked. There was a weird situation going on when he was attacked, and now he's having these very odd symptoms. He's extremely thirsty. So he runs away so he doesn't attack his friends, and he collapses onto the ground in this kind of side hallway in his high school. And this girl comes across him and is like, hey, are you okay? And he attacks her. But before he can drink her blood, he's just like at her neck, inhaling her scent and pinning her down to the ground. The girl is very calm, so I'm thinking, oh, she must be like a vampire too. Maybe that's why she's so calm. She knows what's going on with him, and now she's gonna say like, hey, here's what's going on with you, here's what you should be doing. Very a la Tokyo Ghoul. There's supposed to be some kind of mentor character. So I thought that's who she was. No. That isn't it at all. He regains control of his thirst, stands up, apologizes profusely, and the girl giggles and says, ha ha ha, did you get so horny for me that you lost control?
The woman was too stunned to speak.
No, absolutely not. Disgusting. fucking no. So even though I enjoyed aspects of the story and was really curious to see how this boy's life played out, he was portrayed as such a pervert, and there were multiple moments in the book where I had to stop, and I literally remember stopping at like 11:30 p.m. and saying, was this written by a man? Because it reads, I was written by a man. Now, I don't know if I'm just like missing something. I don't know if I'm not understanding something, but it really disturbed me, and that's why I had to give it a 3-star, because I think if those elements were not part of the story and it wasn't as creepy as it was, then it would have been a higher rating. But I had to give it 3 stars, and that was largely because I did enjoy aspects of the narrative. I was curious about his vampirism and the girl who turned him, what their connection will be and where the story will go. The art style was absolutely beautiful, so I did love that, but for the reasons I've already said, I could not enjoy it. So when I was watching Gavin's video earlier on today, I realized Summerween ends today. Summerween ends today, not tomorrow, and I was still reading The Family Upstairs and Hidden Pictures. I didn't read anything yesterday just because, aside from the manga, which had very few words in it, just because I was feeling reader burnout, but I decided to start Hidden Pictures. It's reading very quickly, and I'm super excited to see where it goes. All right, it's literally like 30 minutes later. This excessive heat is giving me a fucking headache, so I made a green juice in the hopes that it will help me with my headache. The air conditioner is also on, so sorry if you can hear that background noise, but I'm not turning it off. I have a headache as it is, but I wanted to let you know that I am on page 110 of Hidden Pictures. I'm really enjoying it. It's a super fast read, and it's full of all of these illustrations. So even though it's about a 360-page book, it feels shorter than that because there are so many illustrated pages. I absolutely adore Teddy. So Teddy is a little boy that we're following in this story, and he's just super cute and super sweet. Anya creeps me the fuck out, and I'm actually really loving the writing style of this book. It's first person, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. My headache is giving me brain fog. But the way it's written makes you feel like there's a certain level of distance between you and the narrator of the story. It's super creepy, and I definitely suspect some things. What I'm gonna say right now is that I'm gonna tell you what I think is going to happen. If I'm right, then you will just see the rest of this clip muted with just some music over it, and that's how you will know that I was right in my assumption. If I'm wrong, then you will see the clip as it is. So here's what I think. So I think that the little boy is drawing Anya, who is a spirit, right? But I will see you in my next update. For now, I'm going to drink my green juice, which I can't even grab because now it's covered in perspiration. It's so hot. And see if that cures my headache. So I'm on page 158 of Hidden Pictures. Things are escalating because Mallory is finding pictures in her cottage, like this little shed she's staying on, while she is babysitting Teddy, who is such a cutie. I just love him. But she's feeling a lot of paranoia, and she's terrified, and she's trying to figure out what happens, but the parents take any conversation she has about the son and the concerns that she has about him and what he's drawing, and essentially get really mad. So she doesn't feel like she has anyone to talk to, and she decides to hide a baby monitor in Teddy's bedroom to see what is he doing during his quiet time, because he's not allowed to draw pictures anymore, yet these pictures keep showing up. So she's trying to figure out what's going on. I read that and I'm just like, girl, no, that's a bad look, because what does it look like? I don't know if I'm overthinking this, but for you to take a camera and put it into the child's bedroom without the parents' permission. Just no. I'm on page 303. It is 8 p.m. I made some apple turnovers, which I'm going to eat. Let me tell you, I think I was right in my assumption of what's going on, but now I suspect some other things are part of it. I've seen this done before, so I hope that's not where it ends up going, but honestly, it sounds like that is where it's going to end up going. What I will tell you is that the story is super fast-paced. I actually love all the art that is throughout of it. I was going to take a break like 2 hours ago because my eyes were hurting, but it's just such quick like chapters, and the chapters all end on something that you want to know what happens next. So it's a super quick read. I've only been reading for like maybe 3 or 4 hours total, and I'm already in the final 60 pages of the book. So I'm gonna update you all when I'm officially done, but I'm on sprints with Katie, so hopefully I'm able to use those sprints to get me through the rest of this book. And honestly, I'm gonna be so impressed because I started this book at like 3 p.m. and if I finish it before 10, I'm just going to be impressed with myself because, damn, I'm really enjoying it. I know I said that I would see you when I was done with the book, but just want to tell you, these apple turnovers, which, by the way, were frozen from the grocery aisle, literally just picked a box of them, are fucking bomb. Like, hands down, one of the best apple turnovers I've ever had. I was right. I was right. Y'all, I saw this coming from a mile away. I knew this was where it was going. I'm literally in the final like 40 pages, so I'm going to finish this soon. But that means I am going to have to mute certain clips in this video because I was able to guess within the first like 100 pages kind of what was going on. And then by like the last 150 pages, exactly what was going on. Okay, so I finished it. It went exactly where I thought it was going to go. I don't know why I thought the father of this was a director. He's not. I was really sad for the little kid in this story, and that's all I'm going to say. It's 10:17 p.m. Theoretically, I could start and finish another book. I'm not going to. I am so exhausted. I had so much fun for this Summerween, but I have no intention of reading anything else for the rest of the night. But I'm glad I was able to go through so many prompts. But I'm going to cue it to outro me, who will give you all of her final thoughts, opinions, and rankings for all of the books that I have read this week. Well, let it be known that I think that this lighting is terrible, but there's not much that I can do about it. So that is a wrap for Summerween. It is actually the next Monday as I'm recording this outro. I just had a very busy weekend, but as you saw for this final vlog of Summerween, I read 2 books. I read Happiness and I read Hidden Pictures. Now, Happiness, I already gave you all of my thoughts on, so I'm going to leave it where I left it in the vlog. But let me give you my final thoughts on Hidden Pictures, especially a few days after the fact. My non-spoilery thoughts is that the book was really easy to read. It was a super quick and engaging read. Because each chapter ended on kind of like a cliffhanger of sorts, it made you want to continue. Like, it was definitely a book that I could not put down. With that said, I don't think it's going to be everyone's cup of tea because ultimately not a lot happens in this book. There is a very, very slow build. Then everything happens at the end. I thought that it was fairly predictable as well, and that within the first few chapters of the book, I knew kind of what was going on, and before we even got to the climax of the book, so about the final 3/4 of the book, I knew exactly what was going on. So those are my non-spoilery thoughts. If you don't want to hear my spoiler thoughts, if you want to read this book, then stop the video here. Goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed Summerween because the rest of this is going to be my spoilery thoughts on Hidden Pictures. I'm going to put spoilers across the screen. This is your final warning. Leave the video now if you don't want to be spoiled. All right, for those of you who are still here, I'm assuming that means you read the book or you have no intentions of reading the books because I'm going to give you my spoilery thoughts. It was so obvious to me that Teddy, the sweet little kid in the book, was obviously stolen from this other parent. Not once did I think that Anya was Annie. Like, that did not even make sense to me. I'm not sure why they were going down that route. Annie herself, what? Like, I just could not believe that a beautiful white woman who lived in this very affluent area, like, the police would have been like, oh, well, she's just gone, and not investigate it. And what do you mean he covered the cabin in pig's blood and the police just didn't know the difference? Maybe, but I just have an extremely hard time believing that they would have just let this girl disappear because she was a wealthy white woman living in a very prominent area. I sincerely doubt that they would have let it go. Also, the mother's villainous dialogue and the end. Why do I have pages and pages and pages of this woman trying to rationalize her actions? It didn't make sense to me that they would steal a child, come back claiming that they had come from Barcelona when their passports have no stamps saying that they came from Barcelona. How do you claim that you and your family have lived in Barcelona for years and have never even attempted to step foot internationally? Obviously, because this child is not going to have passports that you can take with you. I didn't understand why the father was crammed into the story. At the end where he was saving Mallory, it was like, I knew you were always in love with me. And the wife is like, yeah, my husband definitely put a camera in your little apartment so he could watch you shower and do things like that. Like, what does that have to do with the story? It felt forced in as just like another plot twist, but it wasn't a plot twist because the husband was so fucking creepy that it was obvious. This ending unraveled very, very quickly. It didn't make sense. If you think about it for more than 5 fucking minutes, you'd have a million questions. Another thing, they enrolled Teddy into a really elite private school that required a lot of paperwork, a lot of investigation. They need a ton of things in order for Teddy to be able to be enrolled in the school. If you had stolen a child, why would you enroll your child into one of the most prestigious schools where your story is not going to stand up because you're not going to have the paperwork and documentation that you need to? And if the wife, the mother, is so intelligent and conniving and just masterful with her plot, why the fuck is that a logical thing that she would do? Why would she not just homeschool Teddy? I don't understand. Like, I have so many things that I'm just like, plot hole, plot hole, plot hole, plot hole. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't fucking make sense. Why is that something that the parents would be doing? Anyway, so that's the end of my spoiler thoughts because I can just keep going and keep going and keep going, but I'm going to stop there. I ended up giving the book about a 3.5 to 4 star just because it was set up very poorly, and like, it was easy to guess where it was going, but the rationalizations and what was actually going on just didn't make any fucking sense. So with that said, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching my Summerween vlogs. I had such a good time reading everything, even though I barely got to most of the books on my TBR. I still had lots of fun. I'm gonna be taking a break from thrillers and horror now, just so that I can read some romance, give myself some rest before I jump back into all of it. If you aren't already, please do make sure to subscribe. I would love to see you stick around, and I'm gonna catch you in my next video. Bye!